Because this thing took a lot out of resources again. But yeah, that was one epic battle, but I just stood up here and just smacked it down every time. A lot more fun when you just know how to take these things down. There's... must be that on here. Bloody watchers and glint hawks turning up right when I did not need them, unless they were part of the mission. I mean, they might have been part of the mission, to be honest. I killed 2 watchers and two glint hawks up here, didn't I? Yep, just as I thought. We need machine claws right now.
No room.
Don't care, it's only a lens. It's not like I need it for anything. I mean, even if I did need it for something, I wouldn't need them for anything. I just missed coming back to here. I just missed it. After being out there for so long in the colds, it feels like... oh, nope, not that way. Do not really need to be getting into a fight with a whole bunch of chargers, thank you. Oh, what was that? There we go. What's that? 3rd to 3rd, 64. The Scoop, 28 MR. Some dude on the tormented boards is claimed to be Vast Silver. Seen, kills, laughs. No, dude, no. They covered versus 20 years ago. Right? What's he doing? Come see. Ken, commune in. He's got a pretty flash skin, but why would Vast Silver be hanging out on a tormented board? Rogue AIs dig horror hollows. Duh. Laughs. I come to regular Earth's climate and complain about 5th installment. Laughs. What was that? It's like the younger generation of today.
Rear that up later.
Understand half of what they're saying. I just tried reading that and I did not understand a word of it. Right. Oh, hello. Just don't. The lure of the real. You gotta feel it. Meet the kids who reject the convenience of holotourism for the sake of authenticity. Well, they've got good taste then. February 10th, 2063. When I first see Eddie Westlake, he's sitting at a picnic table outside his Bangkok youth hostel. I can't even say it properly today. Smoking an old-fashioned tobacco cigarette and nodding his head to whatever tune's blasting his plastic earbuds. Ever listen to early 2000s pop? He asks. Super jaunty here. He pops one of the earbuds out, wipes it down on his t-shirt and hands it to stick in the physical ear behind my Faro Focus 6D. For a while we sit together this way, listening to arcade pit pop as Sukhumvit Road comes to life. It's early here, and let me clarify when I say here, I really mean here. This is not a virtual environment crafted to mimic the seedy exoticism that Bangkok evokes in so many Western imaginations. I had to hop a vert to get here, and I will have to hop another to get back home. Well, how long does it take to get from one side of the world to the other then? Eddie is one of a growing number of young people rejecting the ubiquity of holotourism in favour of hard travel. every year driven at least in part by a youth culture that prizes authenticity over convenience. A growing number of 20-somethings pack actual bags, board actual verse, and set off to explore distant destinations without the benefit of technological augmentation. Wow. You got a feel it, says Eddie, gesturing vaguely to the scene before us. Souvenir stands, tuk-tuks, self and human guided both, and open-air pad thai stands, all of it thronged with young dudes and ladies affected in the same anachronistic style as Eddie. Like, you know, all this used to be underwater. I got a buddy out in Phuket, right? Spent 2 years rebuilding one of the temples out there. Is that the sort of experience you get through your focus? No, it wouldn't. Some part of me can't shake the feeling that Eddie's overtures toward realness are just an affectation. That he's no more than another dopey rich kid desperate to differentiate himself from his parents, my generation. But that doesn't mean he data corrupted. Now, I actually understand what he's trying to say. The more we get stuck in... Oh, hello. Like I really need them. The more we get stuck into everything that is artificial, the less we remember what the real world is like. Watch us. Right, I think it's time for me to get back to hiding. There you are. Now what's the nearest settlement is Hunter's Gathering. Yeah, still got the rest of them to do, but I will do them later. Let us find out what lies behind the frost wall. And see what remains out there. Finally, without having to upgrade any new weaponry and stuff like that. And switch back to... I am not wearing the chieftain clothing. No. But when I click on it, of course I do. Ice Hunter.
These are different times.
Okay.
Long Notch is well stocked, as you asked.
And our scouts are watching for more frost claws.
Our numbers rise. 3 more hunters have passed their trials.
Anatut has chosen his path. Let the cloud shear take him.
Should I?
On the hunt and in life. It's wise to step.
Yes, I think I should. Right. I'm going to spend a minute or two to try and clear out my inventory a bit because it's really annoying me. So I'll be back once I'm done.
largest justice.
Culprit's been caught, and his punishment is in progress. Now, let's put this murder behind us.
You look good.
Now, with me clearing out a whole load of my inventory for inventory's sake, I really needed to do that. This extraordinary reward box, which is common, I haven't opened yet. This is the one I just got from Varja. So, it was nothing to scoff about. It's fine. There, so I really need to get a whole load more upgrades, which I'm going to do. Goat skin, I thought I had. Really? Okay, I've got a few more. Still got a few more upgrades to do then. But it looks like we're all back up to
Peace and harmony.
full. Let's do a... I'd say right there. And let's get on with this. We really need to get on with this now.
Whatever they do with passion.
You may be chieftain, but you will never be Banuk.
Was that you, Aratak, who said that? Or was that you back there?
But our
Aratak.
purpose was to take back the mountain. Now what?
Stay prepared. Sharpen your spears. Should we not return, defending the cut falls to you. If our chieftain agrees with this course.
Sounds like good advice, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Chieftain?
The weight of command is no small burden.
I can see that.
Look, we didn't want to become chieftain. I'm an outsider. An outlander. Commanding was not what we had in mind. But you said nobody can go up there. So now we're left in this predicament. But you and
I
Aloy...
take it you haven't spoken to Araya yet?
Why should I? This is what she wanted, to return to Thunder's drum. It is her only care. So I should have known she would find a way to push aside my spear. After the Karja took my sister, not all of her came back.
So they captured her. What happened in the first
Tell me what
expedition?
happened to the first expedition.
Rhea led the way to the summit, but it was blocked by a great door. Some kind of cauldron, new metal. We tried to break through, but it was unflinching. We were exhausted, no way forward and machines behind. I made the call to push back. It cost us greatly. But to remain would have cost us everything. I had hoped to never subject Araya to that again.
What
What happened to Araya when she was a captive of the Karja?
As a shaman, she's adept with machines. Tracking them, stunning them. The Karja used her to capture them for the Sun Ring, where they were unleashed upon the innocent.
Oh.
They made her part of their blood sport. The shame she suffered beneath their pitiless sun.
She survived.
She endured. Endured by reminding herself of the spirit, her purpose. And now that's all she has.
I see. The spirit and everything is all she has left out of being used to capture the beasts around the Sun Ring. And for a part laying it against all the innocents that were put to death in the Sun Ring. The Mad Sun King was absolutely violent and vile. But do we know what's past
What do you
the
think
door?
is beyond that door?
I do not know. That expanse of metal, that dead hum. Nothing sacred belongs there. Machines and death. That's what the mountain holds. Death for us or for the daemon.
And if we do find the spirit,
Then perhaps we should put it out of its misery.
Okay. Is there nothing more you can tell us? Not even what's inside?
for what it's worth, I'm glad you're coming with me.
Someone has to keep Araya safe.
Outlanders know us as hunters and shaman. But there's more to the Banuk than that. No one deserves to die like that Carja did.
Gildan, when did you get
Aloy!
here?
Oh, what fortune. I thought you'd already gone up the mountain.
Gildan? It's good to see you. Strange, since you're not stuck in a ruin somewhere, but good.
Oh, listen to her. Circumstances being what they are, one might expect a blunter tongue, but not her. Rumors abound in Song's Edge. A campaign to exorcise some sort of daemon, led by a Nora girl who became the chieftain of a Banuk Werak? Ha! Would have sounded like nonsense before I met you. So, I came, I suppose. I'm not sure what I have to offer you, but
I understand, Gildan. Thanks for coming to see me off.
watch yourself up there, girl. You owe me a story when you come back down.
Oh, you'll get it. You will definitely get it. Is there any more people around that I've made friends with that are
Let us
actually-
hope Kopalai takes care of the murderer quickly. Best to be done with all of this.
Murderer? Did I miss something?
Death machine. Anyone really forget?
In the perfect Werak,
This
any
virgin.
one of the hunters would be
Aloy,
suited.
how are those weapons treating you?
They've done right by me so far.
Glad to hear it. Return the favor, yeah?
My father used to say,
Okay.
never settle for good. To be merely good is to fail at being the best.
Don't know. It looks like Ikri, but I don't think it is. Okay. Aratak.
Hardy little plant. You'll help.
Let's go up the mountain, I suppose. They expect a scorcher to turn up. Oh, there's the mountain. Because that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a mean enemy. Hang on, just gotta get on and get me wood.
I think there's frost between my teeth.
Of course there is. There's always frost between your teeth. Who are you?
I wish you
So-
luck on the mountain.
You were up here. Everybody who I befriended is actually up here. Araya, what the hell
Aloy?
is going on?
This is it. My chance to reunite with the spirit, and perhaps to reunite her with the blue light. It's not a chance I would have had alone. I needed an outsider. Someone ignorant of our ways, but no, not ignorant.
Are you trying to thank me, Araya?
Yes, of course. That's what you do. Untangle knots. Create possibilities. Thank you for making this pilgrimage possible. I only wish it had not been necessary to humiliate Aratak. You were wise to let him come. He's earned the right. Stubborn as stone, but He's had to be. The war demanded it. And so have I.
He told us about your captivity and being used to capture the machines. And that's, you know, sat on your conscience and soul for so long.
Aratak told me you were a captive of the Karja for a long time. It sounded bad.
For Aratak, it all comes back to that. He thinks the Karja changed me. They did not. They merely sharpened my focus. When all else is lost, you think about what's truly important. The spirit. The blue light. The beyond. And my brother, too. Every time I felt the chill northern wind, I thought of him. Worried for him.
So it just made you more focused on getting out of there and getting back. But it sounds like Aratak was more changed than
What did
you
the war
were.
do to Aratak?
He cut away everything until only his true self remained. Unyielding ice. No Banuk has more sheer will. He fought the Karja for 1,000 freezing nights, yet always rallied his hunters at sunrise. It is said he endured 23 wounds in those years. His hunters counted them. He never complains of one. Instead, he complains that life with me is harder. He's right.
Oh.
What have I ever given him but struggle?
Oh. So in those 23 years that you were a captive, he got injured 23 times. So that's one per year, if I'm hearing this right. And he basically turned down a path of not caring about anybody but himself and his people. And that's it. And winning the war against the Karja. And getting you back, and that's it. Anything else is second best. Well, you did say if I helped you out with everything, you tell us about Silence. It's
Now
about
that I'm
time.
chieftain of the Werak, I don't suppose I can order you to tell me about Silence?
Aratak would never have presumed to grasp for a secret of the Conclave. But you are not Aratak, and if you have dealt with Silence, your need is well apparent. Silence came to Ban-Ur from the distant north, a young shaman of the Owl's Watch, a remote Werak that rarely comes south to parley.
Silence was a shaman.
He was. Or at least, when we sent runners to ask the Owl's Watch, they said he was. His knowledge of the machines was beyond compare, and he was hungry to trade what he knew to the rest of us.
So
It didn't take him long to gain the trust of the Conclave, and eventually, an invitation to attend.
What about you? Did you trust him?
No. But he impressed me. He carried himself with poise and authority. I wanted to learn from him, but that was not to be. He was granted knowledge of our most sacred meeting place, the frozen caves of the Malmstrom, a month's march from Ban-Ur. He met with us there, as is custom at high winter. But when we next returned, the caves had been looted. Relics of the old world stolen. Holes cut in ice and metal.
Yeah, that'd be Silence, all right.
He vanished with the spoils. We sent our best trackers after him. None returned. And when we checked back with the Owl's Watch, those who had vouched for him were gone. As though he never existed. Some in the Conclave began to doubt he was even Banuk to begin with.
And what do you think?
He committed an unforgivable sacrilege. He's unscrupulous and dangerous. But also brilliant, skilled, and knowledgeable without equal. Except, perhaps, for you. Anyone else I would warn off, but you may be able to treat with him safely. Just don't lower your guard.
I'll keep that in mind, Haraya. Thanks.
The slimy little ingrate. just when I'm starting to, you know, feel okay with him, this comes back and bites me in the backside yet again. He got in there good confidence and then basically just robbed him. The Owl's Watch, I'm guessing they were the Carja Sundom in disguise, vouching for him to get their equipment at the Conclave. If I ever see him again, I'm going to slap him around the back of the head and not even stick my spear through his chest. That's just wrong. Thunder's drum.
What are we going to find up there, Rhea?
Ruins. Machines. And a door, like that of a cauldron. I have faith that you can find a way through it, Aloy. For beyond it lies the spirit. I know I can find her there. Though I do not doubt the daemon has tried to hide the way.
Okay. Well, I've done everything else. I don't think there's anything more I can do. I think it's just time to ascend.
It hasn't been easy for you, Rhea. Getting back to this point.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time, we both will.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend, it will be hard to turn back.
This is endgame. Time to ascend, I suppose.
Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother!
A hatch. An airflow hatch.
Come! The spirit awaits!
That's not all that awaits.
Smoke has been detected within the facility. This is not a drill. Please remain calm and proceed to the nearest exit. I repeat, this is not a drill.
So you see,
Please remain calm
I too can
and
call upon the
proceed to
power of the old
nearest
ones.
exit.
What a simple trick.
What was this place?
The spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind from a terrible danger.
Fortress. It looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? The blue light often dwells in machines.
Well, let's just hope that some remains here.
Let's just hope this is going to be quiet going.
Metal pillars. Tall as Benura's cliffs. I still don't like
Bellow
it.
back. Alright, so we've got bellow backs, we've got watchers. So these are all basically power banks.
Once, these halls rang with the spirit's presence.
I see it. so apparently trees can grow in here as well.
For later.
I'm restless. The echoes mock me.
Stop your whining.
Here, up and over.
November 21st, 2064. It's been 3 years since I was last here, and 12 since I was running the place. Just a skeleton crew left, confused about why I'm here. So am I. Anita wants me to find a way to suspend operations for a while, maybe a long while, and I don't know why. But from the sound of her voice, it was something terrifying. I wish I could look into her eyes, ask her what the hell she's so freaked out about, but what else is new? When don't I wish I could look into her eyes again?
Aloy? Were you listening for something?
There are memories here. Messages left by the old ones.
And you can hear them. I envy you. What did they say?
I'm not sure yet, Araya.
Ooh, Araya wants to know. So, what was that one? There you are.
November 21st, 2064. It's been 3 years since I was last here, and 12 since I was running the place. Just a skeleton crew left, confused about why I'm here. So am I. Anita wants me to find a way to suspend operations for a while, maybe a long while, and I don't know why. But from the sound of her voice, it was something terrifying. I wish I could look into her eyes, ask her what the hell she's so freaked out about, but what else is new? When don't I wish I could look into her eyes again?
Okay, so we have a problem. Apparently there is one through that door. What can I take? I need a health potion. Yeah, behind the door. So, lifting crane. There's no way through, it looks like. Shh. What? Oh, wait a minute. Ladder. Jeez. You sound like you're vomiting. Kenny's homecoming. Joshua. The return of the director emeritus. Decent holotitle. Gina. No, bad title. A worse subject. The camera crew would die of boredom. Whatever, Gina. It's still the most excitement in this hell cave's seen in a long time. Your standards for exciting are depressingly low. I'll squeeze what I can out of this, thanks. You always were a little sweet on Kenny. What? No way! His ears are enormous. Besides, he was too busy mooning over Anita. I want to know what he's doing here in the first place. It's not normal. He helped engineer the most advanced geothermal facility in history. Then rode off into the sunset. Now he wants to check up on his masterwork. Seems normal to me. But why now? He keeps poking around in the cooling facility and asking questions about Cyan. Cyan? Do you think there's something wrong? Last I checked, there's been no deviation in any of our readings since the most recent microquake swarm. Maybe Kenny likes taking field trips on Pharaoh's dime. It's been 14 years. They would have frozen those accounts by now. Has it been that long? Man, I'm old. Not old, just boring. So, Kenny came back 14 years later. Agree. Huh? Let's see. Let's see if we're gonna be alright there.
So they woke up.
Try and do something. But this is not good. I got out of that. What? A lot better than I thought I would. Problem is I haven't got any blades. And this freeze attack seemed to do the job. Really do need some blades on this one.
Now they're hunting me.
They'll never land a strike that slow.
This is where fate has brought you.
There we go.
We must climb higher, and our path will become clear.
Aratak, oh yeah.
I'd have to ditch something.
What was that? Senior lens. I could have swore I've emptied it every now.
If the chieftain's pace is measured, ours is measured.
Alright, I've got enough. Let's not waste it. Will I need... Oh, go away, tutorial. Thank you. Is it up there? No, it's right there.
We can make our way upwards when you're done, Aloy.
Okay, will do. That kiss. What was it? Kenny Chow. Must have been sometime in the spring of 2047, about 6 months after the main facility opened. We were behind schedule, and new data indicated that an incident was close. Maybe only weeks away. I was exhausted, losing weight, barely speaking except to give orders. I passed by Anita in the battery depot. She looked at me and frowned, then pulled me into this room and kissed me. A long kiss, the best kind. I can still remember the feel of her hand on the back of my neck. After she looked at me and smiled, went back to her work. Without saying a word, I'll never forget that moment. Her touch, her unspoken generosity. After she left the project, I spent years beating myself up for not keeping her, somehow. Every time I ran into her at a conference, I felt thrilled and lost and confused all at the same time, always hoping we might have a few drinks and, well, rekindle. It was only after I saw her on stage in the Hollow in '58, accepting the Mind Challenge Award in Austin, with Elizabeth Sobek presenting, no less. Glowing and happy and fulfilled, that it dawned on me that I hadn't done anything wrong at all. I could finally see that she had what she wanted, that it simply wasn't me. Okay. What is down here? Ah! Door's open. Well, that answered that question. The minute I came in here, the door opened.
Let's not freeze in place.
We're running. How can we freeze in place? You ignoramus.
There's an overlook above.
Should have brought a cart.
What's that one? Ridge Road. Can I make any... I can. Look at that. No more upgrades available. Yay! Done. Now I can take them. The ledge above, she says.
An icicle would grow long in the time we have dallied.
Oh, shut up, you fool. There. Because that walkway then goes around that way, right? Okay.
Yes, this way.
You having fun there, throwing up?
Aloy, we should proceed. The path is long.
Of course it's long. It would be long if it wasn't something to hide at the end. Then knowing us, it's going to be some kind of enemy.
Forget about traveling light.
Sorry, that's fine.
If the chieftain's pace is measured, ours is measured.
Shit, shut up. Even silence in my ear was bloody...
Not much farther now.
I don't think I've missed anything. Ooh, what the hell?
Last we were here, we fought our way through there. But machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. And I can hold my own. Even so, we could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, at least for a while.
All right, I get the options. Now follow my lead.
Alright.
Pipes, towers, steam, frost. What was all this for?
This is a reactor. I swear this is a reactor. Either that